Nearly all aspects of life become more intertwined with technology, and IT jobs, I'm pretty much sure, will show substantial growth during the next decade. IT is coming! That's why I'm such an advocate for IT professions for all people who want to make a decent living while working from home. Ignore the title of the video because salaries of software engineers and IT people differ significantly across the globe. So if you are from the United States, then multiply the indicated amount by 2 or by 3. If you're from India or Asia, then you should probably divide it by 2. If you're from the Western Europe, you should add a couple of thousands to that amount. And if you're from Eastern Europe or Russia, then this is pretty much about the amount that I'm talking about. Today we're back to discussing home-based professions rather than home-based businesses. And before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell because we are speaking career and business tips here and you don't want to miss that out. Now that we're all settled, let's dive in. I will provide you with a list of 10 IT jobs that are in high demand as of now and are the most highly paid IT professions in the industry. To be honest, all IT professions could be performed from home, and I'm saying this as a CEO of a software development agency. And in the end of the video, I will provide you with real-life examples of how you can do this, of how you can shift to IT industry and become a professional in this sphere. Because transformation is never easy, but it's doable. So stick around till the very end to learn how you can actually do this. First is DevOps engineer. This one is perfect for someone with telecommunication background. As numerous programming languages and platforms and frameworks and databases appear, organizations need someone who would optimize their development efforts. So DevOps engineers act as jack of all trades in regards to optimizing companies' databases and informational systems. They work in a variety of technical areas within organization, utilizing a broad set of knowledge, all the technologies that exist currently and are being used. For example, database architecture and maintenance, web and mobile development, informational security, cloud storage and maintenance, and many others. DevOps engineers must have a wide knowledge of current technologies and current trends and learn all the time, and as well as they should have a very good communication skills because they will be discussing all the time the best solutions with the management. So you should kind of combine this to a broad set of knowledge and the communication skills. And this profession is in high demand as of now, so I strongly advise you to look into this direction if you want to shift to a high-end IT jobs. The next is data scientist. Companies nowadays accumulate and gather tons of information and tons of data that they need to structure, analyze, and utilize for further use to draw insights from it. And the person who is responsible for this is data scientist. Actually, data scientist job title is often poorly defined because this is basically an analyst who combines some knowledge of machine learning and some knowledge of programming. A machine learning engineer, on the other hand, specializes in machine learning specifically, meaning that he is a full-blown software engineer with a strong knowledge of machine learning technologies. Machine learning engineer runs machine learning experiments in the company using programming languages that contain machine learning libraries like Python, deploys machine learning solutions into production and optimizes them, suggests better solutions for optimization of data analysis within the company, provides data engineering, meaning that he or she ensures good sustainable workflow, data flow between database and backend systems, implements machine learning code and techniques, optimizes it, utilizes it, analyzes data, and so much more. The next is data architect, and data architect oversees the design and maintenance of all the data within the company across multiple systems. The main goal of a data architect is to ensure that the data within a system or a platform or storage is easily accessible. They ensure that the data is being handled, is being used in the most efficient way possible, and they constantly seek for ways to implement different techniques to ensure that the data is being used even more efficient. The next is software architect. And software architect, of course, is not an entry-level professional. It's a high level, it's a very skilled and very experienced person who specializes in software development mostly. They dictate the choice of software tools, platforms, programming languages, and they are responsible for the main design concepts and layouts, basically for everything. Like an architect designing a house, software architect designs the entire application or the entire system. Sounds tough, huh? But let me assure you, everyone can have a go. What one man has done, another man can do as well. So why can't you? Actually, any architectural position is a highly paid position because that's only natural that a person who is responsible for the entire system, not just a part of it, but for the entire system, and with such level of responsibility, he or she should be highly paid. Some examples here. Enterprise architect makes sure that the business uses proper systems architecture. Solutions architect, he or she is responsible for deciding which technologies to use. Systems architect, he designs, configures, operates and maintains a company's networking and computer systems, and so on. Another one I wanted to mention among architectural positions is cloud architect. And the reason why I wanted to mention this position specifically is because this one is in high demand as of now, is really in high demand. Why? Because they are responsible for design solutions for companies who are looking for transition of their in-house on-premise data storage, right, to some cloud-based solutions. And this is very, very important because this implies all sorts of issues, including security issue, right? Because when you have your data in-house, you are sure that you have it secured on your server, in your office, etc. But when you're shifting it to a cloud-based solution, you want to make sure that it doesn't disappear and that no third party will have an access to it. The next is big data engineer. And let me stress it here that all of the above mentioned positions have a lot in common, because all of the above positions, including big data engineer, have to know a lot about cloud system, about architecture, about design solutions, tools, platforms, etc. So it's only natural, if you are a high-end professional, that you should have a very broad set of knowledge, and you will have to learn constantly. And you will have to know, if not everything, then something very close to everything. So you might hear something corresponding here when I say that big data engineers are responsible for maintaining, developing, testing and handling big data solutions within an organization. A big data engineer builds a large-scale data processing systems, should have, this is a must, should have a knowledge about data warehousing systems, and should know the latest trends about databases, everything about databases. The next is senior software engineer, and technology here does not matter. Basically, if you're a pro in any programming languages, then you can earn as much as any of the software architectural positions I mentioned. Like I mentioned, the programming language does not matter, but currently in high demand are C++, Kotlin, Scala, Go, Erlang, and others. The next are BI developers. So who are BI developers? BI is short for business intelligence. Again, this one is very trendy as well. So BI developers spend a lot of time researching and finding solutions for all the business problems within the company. BI developers are responsible for building online analytical systems and work with databases, both relational and multidimensional. Now, I have purposefully not mentioned non-tech IT jobs that can still bring you 5K per month, because first thing, I've already done a video about this one, an awful one, but you will gather some pretty valuable insights from here, and I will do another one next week, so stick around and make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to not miss the video and be the first to watch it. And now another condition I wanted to mention, and please hear me when I say this. Nowadays, your formal education doesn't really matter. I will say this again. Your formal education doesn't really matter. Your degree doesn't matter. Your college, your university, etc. Only in terms of good connections, but then the price is too high, in my opinion, to pay for good connections only, sometimes. What matters though is your skills, your readiness to learn, your ability and your readiness to solve the problems, the company's problems, and again, your skills and your experience. That's it. You may have any background, nobody cares until you have the job done. And that's what I'm relating to. I have promised to give you a real life example how to shift to an IT industry. And though I know a lot of such examples with people shifting from all walks of life, shifting to IT industry. So again, education does not really matter. But I will use my personal example here. Why not? The thing you have to do is to self-educate. Now I know it's very hard to find extra time when you already have your hands full, because, well, we've all been there, but I want to say it's all doable. I've been writing books and working on my side hustle while still working a full-time corporate job, had a household to look after, kids and a husband, and still I could make my shift to a business world. My husband, originally a telecommunication engineer with a completely different background, tech background, but it's not IT, made his shift after re-educating himself, online, offline courses, any free information that is out there on the web, and there are lots of valuable information out there in the web, guys. YouTube, yes, you can learn programming by subscribing to thematical YouTube channels, technical forums, different sites, Medium, LinkedIn, so everything that relates to what are you looking for, what are you searching for. So fast forward, my husband is now a DevOps engineer, and yes, he's pretty much happy with his new position. How did we do this? Simple, by working like dogs. No rest, no weekends, no movies, no going out until we made it. Extra free hour? Go to learning your online or offline course, working on your side hustle, writing your book, your online course, anything that you are currently working on. Be it 15 minutes a day or 5 hours a day, it will mean but one thing: you will reach your goal either sooner or later. But you will. If you don't move, you don't get anywhere. If you move, you will reach your destination, and let us hope that you will exceed your own expectations. Everything is doable, it's never easy. Of course, make sure to bespeak your learning schedule or your shifting schedule with your spouse or people you live with, your beloved, because if you are planning to dedicate all of your free time to studying, to re-educating yourself, it means that all the extra household duties will fall upon your beloved, and that might not be as fair because, yes, everyone has their own plans, so you should bespeak your schedule and make sure that it matches with the schedule of your beloved, so that there will be no fights. Trust me when I say this, you will need to speak of your plans ahead, and you will get all the support you need if you do this. Bespeak the schedule, come to an agreement, and work on your goal. There are tons of free content out there in the web. Like I mentioned, my husband went to 2 offline courses and he did 1 online course, but the main source of information was free out there on the web. And he says that himself, that he got all the best information that he could have free out there in the web. Top Gun, you're a lucky person. You have a laptop or a computer and an access to the internet. And that means you have an access to all the YouTube channels that are out there. So subscribe to any YouTube channels that are related to the topic you want to master, you want to become an expert in. And there are other forums, technicals, both your local and international. English is a must. If you are a non-native speaker, English is a must. So you can have an access to like all the information you need. Just stick to it and make your goal happen. I wish you very best of luck, Top Gun, and may you always hit your targets. Now have a great mood, have a great day, and see you next Wednesday. Bye!